Hello, everybody. I realize I'm probably freezing up a little bit, but it'll come back in just a second. But anyway, my name is Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, a recovering Democrat Sadiq, also known as the Black Yul Brenner. And the purpose of the Demetra K show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like I said, Big Giant, thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are family. Sometimes I share the link. If I share the link and your profile looks like this, please show me this. And then you can go back to that. If you're not comfortable, just know that, especially if I've never seen you on here before, I must see your face. Also, in the comment section, it's not that we disagree, it's how we disagree. So if we can be as respectful as possible, I love and appreciate you for that. And that's the same thing for us on the panel. Today, we're going to be talking about the Trump administration freeze on federal funds halted at the last minute. This thing is like, has a lot of working parts, and it's, continuing to move by the moment. So I hopefully I have the most updated information as I just came on here and was kind of looking at everything like that. Of course, we'll probably get into some other things for the time that we're here. Who else is on here before I give it to Donovan? Don't need no man. Stop telling me I do. How you doing, Brother Reggie? What's going on with you? Brother Thunder, how you doing? Beverly, I hope you're doing well. I love my ad block. How you doing? Brother Samuel, Mike Nice, Troy, Scott, Cherise, and Odd Negroes, how are you doing? Donovan, what in the world is going on?
If you guys been following my Facebook page, everybody's been posting Dragonfly Jones, and that is me in real life. That was based on me in real life. Dragonfly Jones, the Martin Show. So check it out. But hey, you guys, great to have you guys here. It's 3 p.m. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. Real quick, for those of you guys that think I am not about that life, I am really about that life. My style is Shuenru Kinshikan, very defensive style. I'm very skilled in the weapons because I always liked the weapons. Got beat up a lot in the dojo, but anyway, pretty good. So I am really about that life. There's a tournament coming up, and I'm going to be participating in the tournament. I've been a one dan black degree black belt for what, 30 something years, because I got my black belt when I was like 16 or something like that. But I do live a lifestyle, so it is what it is. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. This is going to be a really big topic, but it is 2025. Quick question. Has anybody seen any slave patrols? If you've seen slave patrols in your neighborhood, put a 1 in the chat. Has anybody seen, I'm serious, put it in the chat. Has anybody seen cops just shooting black people in the back? Because y'all fucked up now. They're going to be shooting you in the back. Jennifer Lewis, have you seen that? Put a 2 in the chat. 2025, have you guys seen any of that being implemented? I'm just asking because I haven't seen it yet, and people are still using these tropes to do what they got to do. But do us a favor, you guys, download the African Diaspora News Channel app. 2025, we can do an enlightenment. It is the best way to get information out there, and we can talk about things among ourselves. A lot of people, knowledge is power. So even though I've got the hands of stone, knowledge is the power. It's not what's in the hands, which brings up The Last Dragon, a classic. Catching bullets with his teeth. Negro, please. Okay, so anyway, download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get on Google Play, Apple Store. Also, we thank you guys that have been donating to the channel. We really do appreciate that. It does take time, effort, all of that stuff to bring these great conversations to you guys. And if you guys have been donating, we thank you for supporting the channel and continuing to support the channel. A whole bunch of you guys have done that, but there's ways you can do it. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, money order, cash, however you guys want to do it. Every little bit helps. And trust me, it is greatly, greatly appreciated.
All right. So hello, everybody. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. As you guys know, it sounds like as of yesterday, the Trump administration said they were going to put a freeze on federal grants and loans and, some other federal funding. And then from that point, all hell broke loose for lack of better words. And so there's reports of different government portals from different states being shut down, like Medicare. And people were saying, oh, food stamps are going to get cut off. I saw right before I came on here, Atlanta, the mayor of Atlanta said that the housing vouchers was something wonky was going on with that, as far as people might not be able to pay their rent and things like that. Well, the new White House press secretary, she is her first day, and I'll tell you one thing, she kind of sharp, right? Now, when I say sharp, she's like no nonsense. She like, it's a big difference between her and Karine Jean-Pierre, where Karine's kind of like, she's kind of like trying to think about what she's gonna say before she says it. But this lady here, Christian something, I'll get her name in just a second. Yeah, she doesn't bite her tongue. So I'm going to show you guys a video of her speaking about this issue here. Y'all ready? Here we go.
Provide the certainty and the clarity that all of you need. This is not a blanket pause on federal assistance and grant programs from the Trump administration. Individual assistance, that includes, I'm not naming everything that's included, but just to give you a few examples, Social Security benefits, Medicare benefits, food stamps, welfare benefits, assistance that is going directly to individuals will not be impacted by this pause. And I want to make that very clear to any Americans who are watching at home who may be a little bit confused about some of the media reporting. This administration, if you are receiving individual assistance from the federal government, you will still continue to receive that. However, it is the responsibility of this president and this administration to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars. That is something that President Trump campaigned on. That's why he has launched DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, who is working alongside OMB. And that's why OMB sent out this memo last night, because the president signed an executive order directing OMB to do just this. And the reason for this is to ensure that every penny that is going out the door is not conflicting with the executive orders and actions that this president has taken. So what does this pause mean? It means no more funding for illegal DEI programs. It means no more funding for the Green New scam that has cost American taxpayers tens of billions of dollars. It means no more funding for transgenderism and wokeness across our federal bureaucracy and agencies. No more funding for Green New Deal social engineering policies. Again, people who are receiving individual assistance, you will continue to receive that. And President Trump is looking out for you by issuing this pause because he is being good steward of your taxpayer dollars.
Okay, so as y'all heard, and Caroline Leavitt, I jacked her name up. Caroline Leavitt, she basically saying no, so none of these individual things will be affected. They're just trying to weed out some of the programs in regards to DEI, transgender stuff. Y'all heard her. So some of the things that I guess they're trying to address in this is, let's see, health care, says Medicaid. Some states' Medicaid programs reported issues following the freeze, leading to concerns about potential disruption in healthcare services for low-income individuals. And those states that did report it says, okay, we were reassured that it was just a glitch and that none of those funds are going to be cut off. It says global health programs. It says the president's emergency plan for AIDS relief, which provides HIV treatment worldwide, faces funding suspensions, potentially jeopardizing care for millions. Education, Head Start, early childhood education programs like Head Start may experience funding delays affecting services for children from low-income families, disaster relief. So FEMA, of course, we heard him talking about getting rid of FEMA last week. It says foreign aid. It says a wide range of foreign initiatives, including those for health, education, and development, are suspended, affecting the global humanity efforts and things in regards to the climate. So it should also be said that right before it was supposed to go into being frozen, if you will, like moments, right? It says on January 28th, which is today, U.S. District Judge Lauren Icahn, I think that's how you said, issued a temporary injunction against the Trump administration directive to freeze federal grants and loans. This decision was prompted by a lawsuit from the National Council of Nonprofits, which argued that the funding halt would severely disrupt essential services, including healthcare, support for small businesses, LGBTQ communities. The administration's freeze led to widespread confusion among public officials, educational institutions, and nonprofit organizations, with concerns about this impact on programs like Medicaid, Head Start. Critics contended that the freeze violated the Impoundment of Control Act of 1974, which restricts the executive branch from withholding funds appropriated by Congress. The temporary block is in place until a scheduled hearing on February 3rd, where the court will further examine the legality of the administration action. So again, a federal judge says, yeah, we're going to wait and see on that. So the freeze is not going on and giving them until Monday so that everybody can make their arguments. It sounds like there's a lot of nonprofits that sued. A lot of states, red and blue, are like, okay, but what does this exactly mean, right? But again, no food stamps, because you've heard a lot of that going around, that food stamps are going to be cut off, and all this other stuff. So I guess really it all remains to be seen. Of course, there are some on the left, a lot on the left, are like, this is what you guys did to us, how dare you? And everybody's going to be affected by it, and this, that, and the other. And as I say, don't be mad at Black Americans, because Black Americans are always asked to, pinch hit, if you will, for everybody else. So everybody else can run home. And it's like, well, we're stuck on base, right? And it would all been so simple if the Democrats really would have just delivered for Black people. They've continued to participate in the benign neglect of Black people. And again, infamously, Kamala said, I'm not going to do nothing specifically that, benefits Black people. So again, a lot of Black people just decided to sit home, vote for Trump, or, do something else. So here we are. Is it constitutional? It remains to be seen. But Trump has made it no secret that he is moving swiftly. As the press secretary mentioned, DOGE, Department of Governmental Efficiency, they want to see what's being spent, how, and, basically along with his first campaign stuff, his first term of drain the swamp, right? So I guess I don't know. It's a lot going on, but it all remains to be seen. So anyway, Donovan.
Yeah, just real quick.
Hold on. Al, if you don't like my summary, you go get hooked on phonics somewhere else. Maybe somebody like the Jeffersons, or Different Strokes, or Good Times could give you the cliff notes. But if you don't like what I'm saying and how I'm saying it, you can see your ass off my post. Respectfully. Donovan?
Yeah. Communist Manifesto. You keep the people in fear. Now, remember, some of these news outlets that are reporting this stuff are the same people that told you Kamala Harris was ahead. These are Democratic labeled, owned media outlets. And in the Communist Manifesto, to control the people, the best way to control them is to keep them in fear. The quickest way to make people give up their rights is to keep them in fear. They will willingly give up their rights because they're worried about their safety. I think that's in chapter 1 of the Communist Manifesto, if I remember it right. A lot of people aren't familiar with the Communist Manifesto, but it is the Bible of communism and how they govern under a communistic system. And I know we're capitalists, a lot of people don't read it, but I would strongly suggest there are certain books, especially Black people, should read. The Communist Manifesto is one of them. Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler, and definitely Message to the Black Man by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You need to read those books. It'll tell you a lot about what is going on and how it's supposed to be going. But we have nothing to fear but fear itself. But see, this is what they want to do, and they get Black people all emotional and stuff. Well, we got to boycott this, boycott that. Look, you guys, let's be real. What we need to do is take a deep breath, go get a bag of popcorn, and actually watch how integral Black dollars are to this country and our support is to this country. Look at how the immigrants are panicking. Oh, the Negroes don't want to help us, and we did all this stuff. You didn't do jack for us. Now you know how it feels, right? Everybody wants our input. Everybody wants our attention, but nobody wants to give us what we deserve. So we need to step back and just watch the show. Nothing's going to affect us. Like I said, I know, a lot of you guys disagree with me, but in this economic system, Blacks are at the bottom. We are at the bottom. They brought in a bunch of migrants, gave them money and resources that elevated them way above us. They won't even give us cash money for anything. So we don't need to panic. We need to, just sit back, Let it do what it do. Because basically what this is, you guys, if you really think about it, this is a civil war between white people. 50% of white people vote Democrat, 50% of white people vote Republican. The Democrats depend on black people to get them over the hump, and they've always done that. So let's just stop panicking, get your popcorn, and sit back and just watch the show, because we are in a position of leverage. That's all we have to do.
And hello to everybody that's come on here. I'm going to go back to this. Tanza, how you doing? This comment here. Facts, not feelings. He says, breaking news, China just cost Wall Street tech firms to lose as over $1 trillion yesterday. Yesterday alone, he says, dollars when they dropped the DeepSeek AI for free a few days ago. Elon, Zuckerberg, and Altman are going to lose billions. Yeah, yeah. And they're, they're saying China. Then I heard Trump. So I guess nobody's really for sure, but one thing is for sure, over $1 trillion was lost yesterday. So yeah, that's quite a bit of money. It all remains to be seen, right? But thank you for that. Eunice, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Who else is on here? CJ says folks just going around lying all the time, but that's one thing about social media. People are going to post things and they're going to just run with it, scaring people, talking about your food stamps is getting cut off. And a little bit of that is hateful. Because, and I think it's wishful thinking for some, that they want to see that happen to people, that programs get cut off. But there's a lot of seniors and, people who are disabled and, people like that who depend on those programs. So it's like, why would you want those to be cut off? Reality with GP, how you doing? Celia, what's going on with you? And Brother Damon, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. And Nyaka, how you doing? Says one of the projects I'm contracted with deals in migrant resettlement. They were losing it today at the office. Yeah, said a lot of people were just like, what the heck? What are we going to do? They said Meals on Wheels. A whole lot of other things could have been affected by this funding freeze. But, obviously people are arguing that it's unconstitutional. A lot of people in Congress are saying, the presidents don't have any control over money that's already been allocated from Congress. So he can't come in and just say, well, I'm going to do away with this. I'm going to do A, B, and C, and D. It's like, well, that you don't have those powers. Actually, Congress is more powerful in many respects than the president. This is kind of some of the arguments that's coming off. So they're like, yeah, he can't do that. Federal judge, again, put a freeze on it until Monday so they can all argue different points. So more than likely, I would think it's probably not going to happen. Rock, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. JJ, Brother Reggie said he's done more in 1 week than stumbling Biden did in 4 years. Let's see, Anthony, how you doing? Says what martial? Okay, so you're talking to Donovan about the martial arts radio. How you doing? Says all they have to do was give FBA community our cash reparation. Come on now, everything would have been fine, right? We would have, all right, bet. But no, we're not going to keep showing up and helping you get in just one last time. And no, we're not going to do that. Gregory, he says Trump is moving really fast in an effort to outrun the courts. Yeah, but the courts seem like they own them, though, with the birthright citizenship thing. And now this, they're like, not so fast. We got to, wait. Mike says, take it elsewhere Tuesday. Come on, take it elsewhere Tuesday, because I ain't got the patience today. I think I'm coming down with something, and yeah, y'all can see my sideburns is a little bit, edge is a little bit thick today. I didn't have my daughter. It's a lot going on, but anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try to be nice though. Queen Adaya, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Brother Thunder, he says, I'm glad you're naming the book, some of the ones I already own, but I'll be adding more soon. Yes, you got to get in those books. I have read Mein Kampf, obviously by Adolf Hitler, Communist Manifesto. Yeah, you should definitely read that. Fall of America too, by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Message to the Black Man in America. And by all means, Miseducation of the Negro. If you start there, I think you'd be all right. Keisha, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Angela, it says they wasn't crying when they received the American people's resources. Yep. And Keisha says, absolutely. We're only 28 days in and I'm 10 toes down. It's time for the revolution. Yeah. What do you want us to do? Right. Black Americans are tired of getting the kick in the tailbone. We don't like it no more, right? Sheree says, know the players and the game. Yep. CJ says, not whether we agree. The numbers indicate you're right, Mr. D. And Guns Tip, how you doing? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Says, I had a family get deported to coming from his father's funeral. You said our family got deported. You said from coming from his father's funeral. Wow, somebody told on him. Somebody told on that family member. Damon says FBA is good. Let them folks have at it. Have at it. Yep. SG, how you doing? Says you're right, Donovan. Get the popcorn and sit on the couch and watch. Negro says migrants were able to buy homes and open restaurants in 2 years. It was crazy. Hey, brother Larry, how you doing? Y'all got to follow brother Larry. He be breaking it on down. I say breaking it on down. Yes. K-Mac, how you doing?
The foundation.
Huh?
He breaks it down to the foundation.
Oh yeah. K-Mac, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Mission Vision, what's going on with you? Who else is on here? And then we can start off. FM, how you doing? It says Republicans are Confederate soldiers. Democrats are the Union soldiers. We only have to our political agenda satisfied while they fight each other. Yeah, there's things that we need to be doing as well. While they're still fighting back and forth, we still got to be doing for self. We got to be building, right? Now we ain't time really to be sitting back and watching and eat no popcorn. Later for the popcorn. Because, you eat popcorn when you relax, right? You're chilling out or I don't know, celebrating. We as Black Americans don't have anything really to be celebrating, right? There's a lot of the work that needs to be done. So you eat the popcorn once we actually move, some milestones or whatever the case is. But yeah, ain't no time to be celebrating just yet. You got to get to work. Rodney, how you doing? Hope you're doing well.
We have to be still in our movement and, we have to be still in our movement and determined in what direction we're going to go.
Absolutely. Brother Rodney, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Maureen, what's going on with you? Beautiful sunlight. How are you? Let's see. Georgetta, how you doing? Says, remember when the media is telling you to boycott Target, Amazon, and others? Don't you know there is a lot of Black-owned businesses selling their products in those stores? Yeah, there is, but it's like you can't have your cake and eat it too, because at the end of the day, Target is still profiting. So either you're going to boycott or you're not going to boycott. I'm not saying about you specifically, but I'm just saying, what is it, right? There's a lot of people who have to sacrifice when it's time to prove a point. I don't get the whole DEI boycott because we didn't benefit from boycotting. If anybody should be boycotting, it should be white women because they're the ones that benefited from DEI the most, not us. We benefited like that much. White women are the ones that's going to be affected if they're truly implementing getting rid of DEI. So they're the ones that should have boots to the ground. They're the ones that should stay out of Target. But guess what? There'll be more white women in Target than anybody. And I don't see them largely talking about we not going in there. And listen, as I said earlier, in our podcast, if Kamala won, would we be having this discussion about let's go shop Black, buy Black? No, we wouldn't. We'd have been rocked to sleep. We'd have been like, whoo, that was close. Now we can just go back to business as usual. Listen, Black people don't need to go back to business as usual because business ain't good if we go back to business as usual. We needed to be woken up, if you will. We needed to have that happen. So, I don't know, boycotting Target, it don't make me know, never mind. But as Dr. Claude Anderson said, Black people are very good at boycotting already. We boycott each other. So again, don't because white people won't let you get a spot in their organizations, make you go shop with your own people. You should have been doing that already. And yeah, there's some Black people in Target that's going to get hurt. But as I said about Tabitha Brown, why is she special? Now, we love Tabitha Brown. She's a nice lady. She got a nice story. But she's asking people to not go in, to only go in there and buy her stuff or whoever else's stuff and leave. It's like, nah, sis, you got to put some skin in the game too. Because everybody else is going, where do we shop? There's not a whole lot of Black businesses just yet. So you're asking us to sacrifice, but you don't want to pay a price? That's not how that works. It's everybody or none at all. Anyway, Sheree says he can investigate the fraud and shut them down. Okay, so let me skip down just a little bit. Oh, thank you, odd Negroes. I feel terrible today. Like I'm coming down. I got up early and went to the gym. I don't know. Jacoby, how you doing? Since President Trump knows it was going to be applied, he says that way it will be decided up or down. So you say he knew it wouldn't be applied. Is that what you meant? Okay. Well, he sure did freak a lot of people out. And Thunder says, Demetra, even on an off day, you still beat most. He says, Earth will forever hold a special place in my heart. Okay.
And can I say something real quick in regards to Trump freaking everybody out? That is definitely true. He's freaking stuff out, but maybe it's just me. But I'm looking at the distraction. He's throwing stuff out there while you guys are getting upset at over here. What is he really doing over here? See, so maybe it's just me. What do you think? Trump is a smart man, and he knows some of this stuff has to go through. It's going to be challenged. So while everybody's upset and getting their panties in a bunch over here, I'm looking at what he's doing over here that people aren't paying attention to. Maybe he's, really doing some stuff, writing some serious legislation that we're not going to be paying attention to, and he's going to slip in there in the midnight hour. What do you think?
I mean, that's always the case. Again, you mentioned the Communist Manifesto, and it talks about that in part, how we're always distracted with politics, race, gender, whole host of other things, but it's really about the money. It's really about the capitalism, about the ones that own the means of production, the machine. What are they doing? And all that stuff is a distraction by design to keep us fighting over stuff that matters a little bit, but not in the larger scheme of things. So yeah, of course, they're one thing about Washington, they're never going to tell you everything that they're doing, And I don't know if you guys have seen a lot of the conversation in regards to some of those files that they opened, RFK, JFK, and Martin Luther King Jr. It's a bunch of garbage that's going out there in the FBI files. So people, and I try not to even look at those posts when people are saying certain things about Martin Luther King Jr. Not that I don't believe that they're true. I don't know. I wasn't there, but we do know that the FBI do lie. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it served this purpose for them releasing them, as to get people to disparage Dr. Martin Luther King even further. So I just myself I'm not going to pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then people got to understand, most of the people that are involved in that, they are deleted or they're gone or they passed away. One of the last people that was involved in that was George H.W. Bush, being a CIA director and all that other stuff. If the government is finally going to release these things, and I think they're 16 years overdue to have released them, it's because most of the people that were involved are gone. Nixon was involved. I mean, we can go through the whole gamut. Gerald Ford was involved. This goes way back. So again, there's books out there. And I'm going to say this: don't just rely on one source. People need to read several different sources and come to a conclusion. Your conclusion, not my conclusion, not Demetra's conclusion. But they're releasing that because it's a distraction. And a lot of people want to know, I want to hear the truth. Everything you need to know about those assassinations has been put out there. It's not going to bring anybody back, but some of the worst people out there have been already deleted and killed or passed away, and it's a done deal.
Yes, and I love that a lot of you all brought up Neely Fuller Jr. Yes, he did say that. We have no reason to celebrate. He says, but we all are always celebrating, and for what? We haven't done anything to celebrate for. So yes, I love when I see people really studying the greats. So yeah, thank you for putting that in the chat. Damon says it's the Okie Doke from Al Sharpton. Okay. Brother Reddy says, someone answer this for me. How can illegal aliens pay taxes? Ain't they getting paid under the table, or they got social security numbers or something? Some of them do pay taxes, but then some of them don't. So yeah, it's just, for those who
and a lot of them have fake social security numbers. A lot of them have fake social security numbers.
Yeah, but some of them do pay. And yeah, Brother Reggie, I did see that the gang member for Trey Agua, whatever it's called, he got arrested. That was commandeering those apartments in Colorado. So yeah, it's getting sticky, in the words of Tyler the Creator. Odd Negroes, he said Kamala definitely wouldn't have said that. The 14th Amendment was made for the children of slaves. Yeah, that party don't even know what a woman is, let alone what the Constitution says. Not that it really even applies to us. And I saw somebody, said which parts of the Constitution kind of really apply to us, 13th, 14th, and 15th, but now it's being, commandeered by everybody else. So I guess Facts Not Feelings says all these black people who are scared of Trump and will give up the little liberty they have for security will risk losing it all. That's a warning. Yep. Did Christ really come already? How you doing? You says proper reconnaissance. Okay.
Yeah, and real quick, and real quick, if you guys don't believe people will give up their freedoms because they're scared, what happened during 9/11? The Patriot Act. The government could come into your house while you're not there, do their search and stuff, and take what they need, and then prosecute you later. That is how loony and scared people get.
Yeah, sorry about that. My comments had skipped down, so I skipped a whole bunch of people. I didn't mean to do that. We trying, brother Larry. We trying to be like you. You be teaching. Joey, how you doing? Says if they freeze the funds, I might as well go over there to Chicago and marry one of those Ukrainian women and get that $15,000. I'm just joking. Yeah, and I see Mayor Brandon Johnson is very defiant. Queen Diet says no. I'm not serious. That man has been scamming since his hair was straight. Are you talking about? So you're talking about Al Sharpton? Reality GP says I would disgrace myself by begging if I were to re-ask this before I go. I have to say what the. I'm gonna read that one to myself. Nathaniel, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Brother Abdullah says all presidents, the Democrats and the Republican politicians, senators been overseeing the downfall of America, and Trump going to finish it up. Yeah, that's what the word is, And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talked about that in one of not this last Savior's Day, but maybe 2 years or so back, that Trump may be the last president. So it all remains to be seen. And Mo Woo baby. Oh, Mo Bay, how you doing? It says Tabitha should find Black-owned warehouses to house her stuff. If that is a problem, sell via website, hire Black people to do things she says she needs, hire your own. Yeah. So I said, get all your millionaire homies together and y'all, figure it out. But asking people to not sacrifice, just sacrifice a little bit for, so that I could keep making it. It's like, nah, it got to cost everybody something, not because it's like, I get it. You're Tabitha Brown, but I mean, you got to sacrifice too. I'm just saying. Cherie says Trump is revealing his enemies. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, did right. Christ really come? We do have to stay very focused. And Brother Donnie says the King Alfred plan. Okay. Tonzi says Tabitha Brown is a pretty wealthy woman. She can pull her products out of Target and get her and run her own business to be bought online. And she says, I guess she has a year left on her contract. Rodney says, feel better says, I swear, oil of oregano, black seed. He says, NAC, vitamin D3, good for your health. Yeah, I take all of that stuff. Well, not the black seed oil, but I take all of it. But I think I'm just a little run down too. So I'll go to bed early. Gregory says maintenance of your power tools is essential in this current environment. Okay. And as Edgy says, then folks always think when they are sick, we are all sick. When they boycott, we should boycott too. Malcolm X. Nah. As my mom used to always say, not my monkey, not my show. Facts Not Feelings says all these Black people who are scared of Trump and will. Okay, so we read that already. Got you. Mike Knight says, get your hand out of my pocket. Don't go for it. Exactly. A distraction. Daryl says, what about Rafael Cruz? He says, was he involved in the JFK killings? Trump trolled his son and said he was. Okay. But of course, did I say hello to you? He says, some people can't handle the truth. Damn. That's a lot of people, actually. Mike Knight says, somewhere on the news in Massachusetts talking about how they don't want to get deported and they're paying taxes. It's like, yeah, just.
So what? You broke the law. So what? If I robbed a bank 10 years later, do they find out it's me? Am I going to jail at that point? Even though I'm a good citizen, I bought my wife a nice house and cars and opened a business. This is the lunacy of the left. I'm telling you, it just doesn't make sense how they antiquate. Well, I'm a good person, but you broke the law and you got to pay.
Yeah. Hello, LDKR. How you doing? Another thing too is, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you've been over here for a while, what took you so long to get the paperwork together? And as Donovan and I was talking about this earlier, I get it in a way because you have one administration is like, it doesn't matter if you're legal or not. Come on over, come get all there is to get. Then you have another one, it says, well, now you got to go, and again, Obama, his administration, he deported a lot of people. They called him the deporter in chief. So they're getting all these mixed messages. But at the end of the day, as I said too, I learned from an old veteran. He says you can't break the rules if you don't know them. So you're coming over here and not knowing the rules. So I don't know. Norma, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. As
Yeah,
Edgy says,
there's another old saying that says ignorance of the law is no excuse.
right. Facts I feel says, I take my safety and security in my own hands. Don't need any cops. As Edgy says, if someone shares a room, he says at 400, the tax will not affect his savings. Okay. Cherie says, the fact is that slaves were never immigrants. Their interpretation is a stretch. Absolutely. But now when they're talking about the 14th Amendment, they don't even mention the children of formerly enslaved people. They're using it for everything else, right? Again, another co-opt of something that was supposed to benefit us, although we know nothing in the Constitution or nowhere in America was ever written to benefit Black people at all, right? They tell us that though. Negro says Mayor Adams was supposed to appear in front of Congress. All of a sudden he's sick. Yeah, Brandon Johnson's supposed to appear as well, and I guess he's trying to see if he can do it. It's like you mess around and get arrested, it was going to happen. Thunder says, living, just enough for the city. I'm living just enough for the city. Yep. Shout out to Stevie Wonder. All right, Chantel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Norma says, a lot of us saw it in our vision 2025 was the beginning of the end to the divided states as the global thug it is. All right. Who else is on here? Matthew, how you doing? It says, it's great to see the Democrats' new voting base being deported. That's what they thought. That's what they thought, and it's like, yikes. I mean, even seeing a lot of people post videos and stuff online, different construction sites that are just empty. Nobody's working. A lot of people talking about the streets are a little bit more clear where they live, and they don't see the normal, people that they would see out because maybe they're hiding or they've gotten picked up or they're just leaving on their own. So it's going to be very interesting. Dante said, who is Larry? Brother Larry Rivera is one of the greatest to ever do it. Speaking truth to power, he is of the Nation of Islam. Very wise, smart brother. I'll say that, and I share when he goes live, which I find it to be an amazing treat when he does, because that brother, woo, he's serious about keeping it real. So I share it on my Facebook whenever I can if I'm on and I see him. So yeah, that brother is dope and dynamic for sure. Sharon, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. T-Pal, how you doing? Gina, what's going on with you? And Arniba, how are you? And Tanza says, exactly, Tabitha from some parts of South Carolina or North Carolina opened up a warehouse down there. Go back, give help to the community. Yep, she could do that. Rodney says, where's Brother Larry channel so I can support him and get that wisdom? He's on Facebook, so I don't know if you can see him or not in the comments, but he was in the comments with you. But yeah, that's a wise brother right there.
Yeah,
Plays no games.
Yeah, and see, I think Tabitha, as a business owner, she knows that she has to do an expense to rent these warehouses out, and she doesn't want to do that. See, and to move the product, you got to hire somebody to move the product and stuff. So she doesn't want to spend out of her pocket. But like you said, Demetra, you got to sacrifice a little bit too. I mean, you can't ask everybody else to sacrifice, and you're not willing to do the same thing.
Yeah. Hi, Robert says, Donovan, what's happening? Are you giving the fat cats at City Hall a hard time? Are the illegals at the town hall meeting? That reminds me, I got to put that video up. I have it.
Yeah. Yes, I am giving them a hard time. Last week was MLK Proclamation Day. 4 Negroes showed up, almost no Hispanics in the council at the time. And it's been pretty quiet in my neighborhood because I live in a basically Hispanic area of the city. And it's been pretty quiet.
Hey, Terry, how you doing? Says, these are some interesting times we are living in. Yes, it is, right? It's a lot going on, to a lot of people who are uneducated and just kind of going with the flow. And I can imagine it's scary, but if you, get some knowledge and some understanding of what's going on, then it's not as scary, right? But at the end of the day, regardless of what goes on, Black people, we still got to do for self. We got work to do. It's not time to get comfortable. Again, I think it's a blessing, a huge blessing that Kamala did not get elected. It would have been like for real, the final nail in the coffin for Black people here in America. And we're so used to being comfortable, and we have believed that the Democrats are the ones that's rocking us to comfort. And it's like, nah, they rocking you to an early grave, while they're allowing everybody else to get what there is to get. So, as I said, if they at the rate that they're going, with all this blaming and pointing fingers and calling names and all that, it's like 2028 ain't gonna look good for you either, because there's a lot of Black people. Well, for one thing, there's a lot of Black people who said, I'm just not gonna vote no more. And there's some like, I'm not gonna vote for you. I'll vote for everything else but a Democrat. But we want what we want. We want what there is to get. And since the Democrats are supposed to be the party of Black people, and Black people are the most loyal group of voters that they have, it seems like we should be getting something. But until then, they keep fixing their mouth to say, I'm not gonna do something that just benefits Black people. No, then you gotta get what you're getting.
Right. And speaking of Kamala, I don't know what the reports are, whatever, but it's reporting that she's blaming Doug for the loss and stuff. But see, this goes back to, if this stuff is true, because it's alleged, if this stuff is true, it goes to show you that she needs to write that book on how to use the WAP properly, because now that she lost the election, she's discarding her white guy, and she's back here in California, and watch, she's going to be trying to get up with a brother to be more sister girlish and stuff like that, so she can get that Black vote. But it is said that her and Doug are having problems. It just goes on and on and on, and we love to be entertained.
Well, I mean, I don't know if her and Doug is having problems. Probably rumors, obviously, honestly, a little gossip, she's having problems or not. I don't know. She's not in office anymore. She's not in any office right now. So she has absolutely no effect on what's going on. But yeah, the Democrats got a lot of work to do. And as Brother Phil said, they have no leader, and that's problematic. They're just kind of just out there, and Trump is trying to do what he's doing. So, all right. Dang, time is going by really fast. Did I skip up? Okay, hold on a second. Because it did. Mr. South Carolina, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Raven, he says, I don't believe Trump will last 4 years. Enemies go both ways. You know what is so funny? I was thinking that. Sitting on my couch, and I was thinking that. I was like, I don't know. Just something feels real weird. Just something real, just funky. It just, you know what I mean? So I was thinking that same thing. So I think you might be on to something. Facts Not Feeling says, I thought those illegals are working in the farms and not construction sites make 40 plus an hour. Yeah, I saw somebody posted a picture of a strawberry field somewhere where it was empty. Talk about are Americans going to go do that? It's like, and we're not. And we're not going to be, picking no strawberries, no cotton, no none of that. As Edgy says, I saw Dr. Phil interviewing an immigrant on the street. Yeah, he was in Chicago. I'm not laughing because it's just like Dr. Phil, that was Oprah's guy, See, like a lot of people that Oprah put on, they're now big old Trumpers. Even, what's his name, Dr. Oz. He's a Trumper. And I think he's in the Trump administration somewhere. So, yeah, but just to see him out there, Dr. Phil, like, I'm going to make my money. Negroes, he says, y'all think ASAP is going to prison? Are you talking about Rihanna's man? I don't know. My thing is, Rihanna's worth almost $2 billion, and she's got all the money to buy great lawyers. And I don't even know what he's accused of, but whatever it is, it sounds like you could do a lot of time. And my thing is, she gonna be all right. If he goes to jail, he gonna be all right. His commissary is gonna be large.
Didn't Trump already pardon him? Didn't Trump already pardon him when he was overseas?
Okay, that was something else. He didn't get. He facilitated him. He got locked up in Sweden or something like that. So he facilitated that. But something else he got caught up in. So it's like, even with him being in prison, he'll be better off than a lot of us because his woman is loaded and he's not doing bad himself. So, sometimes get yourself in trouble and you don't need to. Like, go sit down somewhere, you know?
And real quick, because I know you guys follow the YouTube just like Demetra and I do. Demetra, what is your thoughts on your girl? You guys, Demetra is a big Tiffany Henyard supporter. What's your thoughts on the Lori Lightfoot, the Beetlejuice report, final report that came out, which I thought it was going to be more than what it was. It was what we already knew. But what's your thought on Tiffany Henyard? 30 days to go, I believe, before the election to be mayor, and her situation in Chicago. Those people are rising up. Do you guys see what happens when the community pays attention to what is going on? So what's your attention on your girl, Tiffany Henyard?
You know what, Philip? I will have to add Zelle. I don't know why I never do, but I can add it for the future. But thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know anything about the final report. I'm not a fan of Tiffany Henyard, by the way. Tiffany Henyard is the super. Well, she's not the super. She's the mayor of Dalton. They don't like her. She's misappropriated a whole lot of funds, and she's just a character. So I don't know what exactly the final report says, but I'm quite sure Lori Lightfoot summed up that she's a thief. What people have been saying. And Metro South Carolina says for each executive order Trump signs, that is that itch in the stone or law?
Yeah, no, I answered that. No, executive order is not etched in stone, and it is law, but it's not law that has standing. So that's why every president that comes in after that. Did you guys notice the minute Trump came into office, he reversed 87 orders of the Biden administration? So it's not etched in law.
Yeah. Okay. Joey says, I see the Democrats are having relationship problems for some reason after this election. Yeah, who knows? I try not to get into that aspect of it. I just try not to. Y'all crazy with the bathtub greens. Mikey crazy. Talking about Doug is tired of them tub greens. Brother Abdul says, peace to you. He says, to my nice study was really going in on the world, and you're going to see that Trump is here to oversee the downfall of America. I don't doubt you, brother. I don't doubt you. All right. Let's see who else is on here. Matthew, he says, what if Tom, the borders aren't, runs for president? We could have 8 years of deportation. Yeah. It could happen. In summary, you're talking about Trump saying he's going to run 3 terms, and some Republican senator somewhere was like, oh, we need Trump to have a 3rd term because it's going to take at least 8 years to undo this mess Biden has done. It's like, if you don't go sit down somewhere. It's almost, I don't know. Maybe it's not funny. Maybe I shouldn't laugh.
Let me ask you another question in regards to Tiffany Henyard and all of these crooked politicians around. How many of you guys heard about the councilwoman down in Mississippi that dropped dime on the mayor? This guy named Lumumba, of course, another African, a person who came here, whatever, maybe he's born, first generation or whatever. He's got this great name, but of course, he's of African descent. And she dropped dime on him, the district attorney, all at the city level, all of this corruption that's going on. And Demetra and I were talking about this. And I was talking to my mom about it too. And I said, Mom, what do you think happens when you open to a border to countries where corruption and cartels and whatever else goes on is kind of normal to them? You bring them over here, they have children, they instill in their children, to run for office, get these licenses and stuff. And they run for office, then they start becoming criminal. It's not just the black thing, it's the Hispanics, it's the white, well, the whites have been doing it, so on and so forth. But now it has been so normalized that we act like, it's like we're desensitized by it now. Because let's be real, you guys. 40 or 50 years ago, there was corruption, but it wasn't out in the open like that you had reporters that had to go dig it up. Now they're just doing it right in your face. And it's been normalized because we have all these people from all these other countries that have come here. And even in the city that I live in, Demetra, what is the biggest FBI bribe in FBI history of a public official? Where did it happen?
Moreno Valley,
California. The FBI put $2.5 million at a restaurant in front of this dude, Filipino. he was up like this. All of a sudden he had a heart attack and he can only do 5 years and he got sick, and it's just a mess. So we have to be more vigilant and more involved in our local politics. If we can stop it at the local level, it's very rare it's going to get to the higher levels.
Yes, indeed. Juanita, how you doing? Says Dimitri. I noticed that since Trump has been in office a second time, he's not as blustery and or a blowhardish as he was when during his first term. It's funny. I heard somebody explain that. It kind of makes sense. His first term, he's never been in politics at all, right? Even before he ran for president, 2016 and won. Some people speculate he didn't even think he would win, but when he got in there, he kind of didn't know what was going on. Again, never being in politics at all, and so now they kind of feel like, well, since it's his second term, he kind of knows Washington. Probably was studying it a little bit more as he was on a 4-year hiatus or whatever the case is, and so now they're like he's kind of knows what to do. Not saying he's doing the right thing, but he kind of knows what he's doing. So maybe that's why he's a little bit more familiar. But thank you so much once again for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. Let's see. And Brother Abdullah says Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, Dr. Claude Anderson, Marcus Garvey, Madam C.J. Walker, and others told us what to do to save. He says ourselves, I think he meant in America, what people looking to Trump really. Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that, right? Julian, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hey, Rodney, how you doing? He says, you guys see Mex. What's that? E. Wright, how you doing? It says Chokwe Lumumba is not from Africa. His father was famous leader from Detroit who changed his name. Okay. CJ says, great point, Mr. D. Scammer beget scammer. Rodney says, have you guys forgotten about Xing Thao, former mayor of Oak Town? Not really too familiar with that. Narma, he says, I wouldn't blame the country's brother Donovan. Our enemy lets the worst of the worst immigrate to diverse states. There's a lot of non-corrupt people in those countries. Got you.
No, I agree with you. But the fact of the matter is most of those countries, corruption is normalized. And like I said, I've been to Africa. You can read the stories right now, what's going on in the African states, in the Caribbean states, definitely in the Latin American states. It is part of the culture. And if that's the culture you were born in and you were raised in and you come to the United States, what are you thinking is going to be going on? I mean, I'm not blaming the countries. That's their culture. That I'm not blaming them. But the problem is when those people come over here and you're changing the culture over here.
Hey, Walt, how you doing? Says, what do you think about him giving government workers 8 months severance pay if they quit? I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, I've heard about it, and I'm going to tell you, I think that's a good idea. I think they need to take it or leave it because you got a lot of government workers that are sitting on those jobs and they don't do jack. They're just sitting there. It's kind of like being a politician. You're sitting on the seat and you're going to die on the seat. A lot of those people are sitting on the seat based on their seniority and whatever. So yeah, either take the severance or just get fired because your department isn't needed.
Rodney says the mayor of Jackson is he says Negro from Detroit. His father was, yes. Okay, I know he's talking about now. Mayor first was a powerful Pan-African. Says that got deleted somehow in the hospital. Then his son took over. I personally am not a fan. I'm not a Pan-African. Got you. Yeah. Okay. Now I know he's talking about. And Brother Don, he says, been modifying my tail off. It says just finished another live and have another starting in 5 minutes. There's something in the air since January 20th. Okay. Raven, he says law enforcement not feeling Trump after he released the Capitol J6 terrorists who harmed police and 3 police committed suicide. It says law enforcement has a fraternity which go to high levels. They won't forget. Yeah, they were mad. They were mad that he did that. So not everybody was happy about that. Sheree says legalizing foreign nationals and their descendants could undo this this constitutional republic. You don't know the intentions of these people. I agree. We don't know. Mission Vision says, have to step away for a second. Well, I'm glad that you're back. Who else is on here? In fact, not feelings. He says, those people come here and get in government and on police departments. That is true. Maxima, how you doing? Brother Samuel says, it's an effort by whites to take Jackson, Mississippi back. It's more of an innuendo thing with the mayor of Jackson. He is absolutely a great brother. Okay.
But like I said, 3 of those brothers, or the girl dropped dime on 2 of them or something like that. And like I said, I don't know the facts. They're innocent until proven guilty. I'm all for that and stuff like that. But I'm just saying this corruption that is going on across the nation. It's just unbelievable. Xing Tao, here's another chick who comes from another country, destroyed Oakland, got recalled. She's famous now for not only being the first Southeastern person to control a major city, but now she's famous for being the first person recalled out of a major city like Oakland. And I'm not blaming these people for what they do, because the movie Wall Street has taught us greed is good. And that's an American thing. But the point is, like the Italians and the mafia, nobody has a problem with you getting your beak wet as long as you take care of the people at home. You got to take care of the people at home. And in our community, look at our politicians. They've enriched themselves and they leave us with nothing other than to clean up their mess. So, it's something that we have to address, and we need to address it at the local level. And when I say local level, what I mean is not just your city council. You have to directly elect your senators. You have to directly elect your governors. That's what we're talking about. Anything that you have a direct vote to, you need to be involved and know what's going on.
I was just reading something about this, what's going on in Atlanta.
S. Edgy says, Donovan, the corruption is the foreign policy of all Western countries and the third world countries. This enables their big corporations to exploit unhindered. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, but never before. When I was growing up, I remember the first time I ever heard of corruption was Watergate. I was about 4 years old when I actually heard about it, because Watergate actually happened in 1972 when it was exposed, and Nixon resigned in 74. So that was like the first time I actually had heard about like corruption. So now it's just being normalized. It's just getting out of control. And the sad thing is, whenever people are like complaining about Trump right now, right? They know Trump was coming into office, or possibly he was going to come back. What did the Democrats do to codify things into law, to put these guardrails on? We've been saying as the bosses, and that's another thing, we have to rearrange our thinking. These people are our representatives. They are not our leaders. They represent us. And if you represent us and you're my employee, you need to do what I tell you to do, or you're fired. We got to rearrange our thinking. So these people, they're sitting there and they go in there and they do what they want to do, and we have to foot the bill. And it's just not right that the burden falls on us. It's just not right.
48 TCO, how you doing? He says, I'm glad they're trying to freeze the housing. Tired of seeing all these folks and paying $200 for rent, then acting fool in the streets because they really didn't have ish to lose. Well, I'm gonna say this. I know in Atlanta that the mayor, Andre Dickens, said that the housing thing was shut down, and he made that announcement right before the federal judge halted the freeze. So I don't know if it's affected still or what's going on, but I will say this. Everybody on housing is not acting a fool, not rooking the system. There are some people who actually need that. I'm not one, and I'm not saying that people aren't doing it, but I'm just not one to throw a blanket statement on people, because those programs are indeed meant to help people. Yes, there are people who do too much, taking advantage. Yeah, that should be dealt with. But there are some people who truly need it. Like I said, seniors, people with disabilities and things along those lines. And people, you believe it or not, there's a lot of people who work and they get housing, vouchers, or they're on food stamps or Medi-Cal or something like that, not because they're lazy. I know that's what people would like to think. All these people are lazy. Not saying you the 48 TC, I'm just saying, all these people are lazy, they taking advantage. That's not the total story. It's not even most people doing it. It's some people doing it. But there's a lot of people who are homeless as well that have full-time jobs, and they cannot afford to live with a roof over their head. That's a true story. So Me personally, I dislike when people, and I'm not saying you 48TC, I'm just saying in general, like I said, it's almost like it's hateful, if you ask me, to try to demonize everybody that has to do that, because I always say, there, but for the grace of God, there go I. Thank God I don't, need those programs. If I ever did, hopefully, I could take advantage of them, temporarily. That's what it's for. But I'm glad that it's not me. But I would never be in a position to say, oh, good, I'm glad they need to not have that and get rid of it, because you just never know when you might need it. And the last thing you want for somebody to do is be ebullient about you losing benefits that are helping you survive from day to day. So, that's all I'm saying. But are there some people who be acting up? Yeah, surely. Okay. We're at an hour. All right, so let's see who else is on here. Facts Not Family says, message to all black people. The West is dead. Asia is rising, and Africa is rising behind it. I don't know if y'all saw what's going on in the Congo today, but whoo, I'm inspired. Says, so those who are not Pan-African, you are putting your eggs in the dead basket of the West. I'm gonna just let that ride on its own. 48 TCO says there should be a limit to housing after 10 years. You ain't got a dime saved. Yeah, I mean, I think there should be some checks and balances put in place. Yeah, but I don't think we should blanket everybody. Jay Bubba, how you doing? Says Benny Thompson is a perfect example of that. He is rich, but that district is dilapidated mess. Dorothy Branch, how you doing? Says, why isn't anyone reporting on Beverly Williams? She was pardoned and now free. Yeah, we talked about her last week. She's the one that blocked the abortion clinic or something like that, and she got, was it 5 years or something like that, and she was pardoned by Trump. So yeah, we talked about it. Maximus says, I have no horse in that game, but freezing the rent because you're not in on it is a petty thing. You're only going to cause homelessness, and that's already an epidemic. Yeah, so I think we should really be careful of things we wish for, right? Raven, he said, Dimitri, get you some you said mullion and cayenne pepper, them two will get you right. Yeah, I'm gonna do something, because it's like all up in here. I've been feeling it since today, early this morning. So I take a lot of vitamins. So I think I probably would be worse if I didn't. Facts Not Feeling says, that's important difference to note, Donovan. The politicians are representatives of us, not leaders. Absolutely. Mike Knight says, Tucker Carlson's son was hired by JD Vance, DEI. Hey, Doretha, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sheree says, they don't seem to have a problem with giving American tax dollars to other countries. Absolutely. Hey, Brother Jonah.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you guys heard that Trump stopped foreign aid, going out other than Israel and Egypt and military stuff like that. But pretty much he stopped that, and I'm for that, for the simple fact that how do you give people billions of dollars, then they want to talk shit? Excuse my language. They want to talk crap on you. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we're the one funding you because if we're defending you, you need to be a little bit more respectful that we're using our treasure, our soldiers, and our airmen, whatever the deal is. And you guys are going to talk greasy to us? We're the ones that, unfortunately, we prop up these dictators. But the fact is, we give them billions of dollars, and then they want to talk greasy. So, he needs to cut that stuff off and let these people either bend the knee or, get right.
Brother Rodney says, I think Trump will win the 14th Amendment for the Negro, maybe a new category just above slavery for the immigrants. He says they could take it or leave it. They will be resentful of the Negro, I hope. ADOS, FBA, aid in the mass deportation to get back to the second slot, like Dr. Claude Anderson was talking about. Says mass deportation is a big win, more jobs, more college slot, property taxes go up when paying for immigrants, and DACA children are Negro children suffer as funds are, and your comment cut off. But yeah, this is going to be very interesting. I totally agree with you. Narma says, shout out to the black cat. Okay. Tanza says, thank you, Sister Demetra, for breaking that down, because you don't know who you might need or you might ask. Yeah, I think it's a hateful, I'm saying this about everybody. I'm just saying some people who try to frame that as, oh, good, they need to be kicked out. It's hateful, because again, everybody's not rooking the system, Sharon, he says, nice cat. Donovan, his name, he said, is his name Boots with those white paws? Hey, Brother Perry, how you doing? Michelle W says they accused of blocking the entrance to Planned Parenthood, but she did not. She was standing to the side. Her husband had a video of it, but the judge would not allow it presented as evidence. Yeah, so she is out. And yes, elderberries are good as well. I just think I need some sleep. Razcast, how you doing? Razcash, I said Razcast, the rapper. He says Trump said housing, food stamps, Medi-Cal, student loans are not affected. Democrats spreading lies. Trump only looking in trans surgery, immigrants, funding, and DEI programs and federal funds. Yeah, so his press secretary did clear that up. 48 TCO says, I agree, Dimitri, I see your point. Some people should be taken care of automatically. Americans with disabilities, seniors, vets, and the working poor. I get your point. Yeah, absolutely. And again, there's some people just fall on hard times, lose their job, for whatever reason, they need a little help. But yeah, I'm not never one to, wish somebody's downfall. It's because it kind of comes back on you. I made a post earlier. It says, something like when you're nailing people to the others to the cross, make sure you save some nails for yourself, because there's going to be somebody right behind you waiting to nail you to one, so we should be careful. Matthew says, what Tom Borders are, runs for president, we would get 8 years of deportation if the Democrats don't give FBA freedom tangibles. Yeah, I think it would be Vance. Angela, how you doing? It says, not to mention the Democrat destroyed the middle class. Yes, indeed. As Edgy says, you're right, Donovan. The hand that gives, the one that ordains. All right. And Robert says, Demetri seems full of fire. Wouldn't guess you're under the weather. Feel better soon. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I think you may be watching it from the beginning or something. My thing is, if you don't like what I'm saying or how I'm saying it, just go, But to get in the comment section and act a donkey is just for what? You need some attention, I give it to you. It ain't gonna be the one you want, but I'll give you the I'll give you the attention if that's what you so need, Ronnie says, hey Donovan, I have a tuxedo cat. These are men with cats. Joey says, do y'all know that Dr. Frances Cress Welsing predicted Trump's presidency, I think during the late 18, she wasn't that old, 1980s, maybe the early 90s. I didn't know that she predicted it, but what an awesome woman and her contributions, to the knowledge that we have, right, in regards to genetic annihilation and all that kind of stuff. The ISIS Papers is a good book. Ursula, how you doing? Says, greetings from Burlington, North Carolina. How you doing? As Edgy says, is a transgender the extension of trans America? You crazy. Arneba says, Reagan gets trickled down. Economic scam destroyed the middle class. That is true. There was nothing that trickled down.
Yeah, let me answer that though. Trickle down economics does work. It does. The problem is they won't let it trickle down. They just won't do it.
They got a whole net up under it, right?
It does work. It does work. If these people weren't so demonic, they'd let the money flow down. But once they get all that money, they want to keep it.
Yeah, not only the middle class, but a lot of things that, were being done for Black Americans that got halted. It was supposed to just trickle down. You guys are going to get the remnants of it. It's like, it's still falling. Is it falling from like the top of Mars somewhere? And Angela says the Democratic Party using social programs to use and inflict fear to those who are recipients of government programs. Yeah. Another thing too is for those who are working the system, how scary is that? Because I know for sure, hey, Lene, how you doing? Those who are on government programs, let's say like welfare and stuff, there's a lot of opportunity to go to school. I mean, you get a 4-year degree, they pay for books, tuition, all kind of stuff, right? So if that's something you wanted to do, you could. Now, again, I'm not speaking for everybody yet, but there's some people who are just like, well, I'm gonna just do this forever, but forever may run out, So yeah. A Star Child was so funny. My daughter just showed me a Maine Coon cat, and I'm like, why would you want one of those? It's like a giant cat. It's him.
And they're so loving. They're very loving cats.
Y'all can have that. Lene, he said Selena Gomez's video was pathetic. What some celebrities will do to stay relevant. I had no idea she's a billionaire. Yeah, she's a billionaire. He says she can house them. Yeah, she was talking about her people.
But she's third generation Mexican.
Yeah, but it's like Brother Phil made a good point earlier. Now they your people. We ain't never heard you talk about that before. Now all of a sudden they your people. It's like if you don't knock it off, like I said, she got $1 billion. You can build something for them, help some legislation. You can do something, help them fast track it, getting lawyers or whatever the case is. But don't get
Buy
on the
some
internet crying.
tents on the other side of the fence while they're waiting. I mean, there's things that they can do, but you see, they don't want to do it.
Yeah, and we'll read this one for the last one, or maybe one more. And you say the mayor's complaining around the country Trump might expose them wasting federal funds in pocket. Atlanta got federal funds for years, fixed potholes and never been fixed. They probably pocketed. Yeah, they need to be looking at these potholes here in Houston because, man, they tear your whole front end off. It's like, what? I mean, I'm talking about these potholes are so bad. If you don't see it and you run into it, you be cussing for like 5-10 minutes. Like, I wouldn't buy a new car here. I just wouldn't do it because it'd be tore up.
So basically you're saying if you're in a town like Houston, it is a good investment to get a lifetime alignment deal.
Yeah, you'll need one every week. I'm telling you, it's like, wham! It's like, what the? And Intel Sci 2020, how you doing? He says Maine Coon cats are very smart, loving, and good mousers. Yellow is the color of sun rays. How you doing? And as Eddie says, Selena Gomez can habla Spanish to her people. You crazy? Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for everything that you do for the channel. Like, subscribe, all of that. I don't think I'll be back here tomorrow, but I will be here Friday. And if something else pops up that I need to be here, then I will be. And Donovan, I don't know what he's doing. He's woosahing or, Hey, Curtis, how you doing? Says the potholes in Houston are like craters. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. I'm from California. We have some, but dang, they're not going to tear your whole car up. I'm like, there's no way I get a new car here. I just,
yeah. Well, the one thing about California that we won't tolerate, like egregious stuff, for the simple fact that we pay such high taxes that we're just, we're just not going to have it. We're just not going to have it.
Oh yeah, no, out here, these potholes are disrespectful. Oh, Star Child, tomorrow's your birthday. Well, happy birthday to you. I hope that you do something fun and fabulous, and you get everything your heart desires. So anyway, we'll be back. Facts and Feelings says, breaking news, Ukraine launched a wave of drone attacks against nuclear power plant in Russia. What does it say? Smolensk region said the drones were all disabled or shot down. We avoid another nuclear war for now. Yeah, I'm moving to Mars.
Let me just say this because what's his name? Tanza Williams says, welcome to the South. It's ridiculous. I'm in Memphis. I just have a question.
Oh, Lord. Let me hold on. Go ahead.
And this is for you, Dimitri. I just have this question. Why is it that where there's a bunch of Black people communing together and we have Black representatives, mayors, congressmen, whatever, our streets are terrible, our buildings are terrible, our neighborhood is terrible. It doesn't make sense to me how we talk all this Blackness and we got everything in the right place. Black police chief, everything is great, but then our infrastructure is crap. And we act like it's normal. Like I said, she's talking from Memphis. High Black population. I'm not down in it. I love Memphis, visiting and everything like that. Beale Street. I love being on Beale Street. But I just have a question with that because it's like, now where I live, it's mostly Hispanic. Blacks don't control anything, but we have decent streets and everything is okay. And, to a point, but you go where the Black neighborhood is, where the Blacks control everything. Why is everything so bad down there?
Apathy. A lot of it is apathy, and a lot of it is disappointment. Because sometimes we attribute everything that's kind of on a downslope in our community to laziness, but some of it is apathy. Some of the apathy comes from disappointment of, let's say, I thought I was doing the right thing by voting for this person, and turns out it wasn't the right thing. Like the people in Chicago are going through with Brandon Johnson. They thought it was the right thing, and he's laughing, telling jokes, standing 10 toes down on taking care of migrants while the residents of Chicago are suffering and doing without. So a lot of it is just apathy. Well, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. So I just won't, right? Another thing is and it's not just in our community, but it is a lot in our community. I will say that. A lot of it is being taught, oh, I gotta have the black politician in there. They gotta be black. I don't care. I'm voting on everything black. But Maxine Waters is black. God rest her soul. Sheila Jackson Lee was black. James Clyburn was black. And a whole host of other black. Karen Bass, black. And they stay in office 20, 30, 40 years while you are tearing your front end off. Now, I know in Congress, they don't necessarily deal with potholes, but even on the city council level, you keep, your mayor who is black in there forever, or your city council person who never comes to your side of the district. They live in the district, right? But their side is the pristine side where it's gated communities and sidewalks. But yours, no. They only come and they don't even come knock on the door. They drive by in a car and throw flyers out the window.
Yeah, and no, they don't live in the community. They have a residence in the community, but they don't live there because Maxine Waters lives in Pacific Palisades. No, she lives in Calabasas, and she represents South Central Los Angeles.
That's where we glitched. Did you see we glitched?
Yeah.
And Rodney says these old comfortable Negroes, he says black boule is usually the tool and puppets of the oppressor. Yeah, they get that little white envelope. Hey, need you to do me a little favor here, and put that in your nonprofit or whatever. So let's see. I said we was leaving, huh? And multifaceted, he says, how you doing? He says we need to take note and vote them out left and right. The Black Caucus too says be informed and take action. There you go. Yeah, they definitely need to go. They got to. And Raven, he says, can't rock with cats, feed and take care of them, but non-trainable. Bump that. You know what my daughter told me about cats and cat owners? She says that cats have parasites that they deposit into their owners. And then their own, Deanna, come here for a second, because Donovan, he just looked at me like I had a foot on my forehead. Hey, Khalil, how you doing? We're going to get out of here, but I'm going to let her explain this cat parasite thing. Thank you, Curtis. Can you explain the cat parasite thing?
Yeah, it's called like toxo.
Can you take that? Okay, go ahead.
It's called toxoplasmosis.
Can you hear her? Okay, toxoplasmosis.
You said it wrong, but that's fine. Yeah.
Look. Somebody know what I'm talking about. Look, okay, but go ahead, explain it.
It's a parasite that gets into that cats have, and it gets into their owners' brains. And it makes them like super like, oh, my cats need me. They need me. I can't leave and be that. Like, basically, it makes you take care of them and protect them when they don't deserve it.
Okay. I would agree with that. It sounds like
she said you got it.
yeah. It sounds like what you're explaining is the Wrath of Khan. Remember that scene where Chekhov had that little alien bug planted in his ear and stuff, and it made him susceptible to whatever. So I guess I would agree with it. But as you know, when you go into the underworld, the only animal that can go and accompany you and protect you in the underworld is the cat. That's why the cat was worshipped in Egypt and stuff like that, because the cat has these powers that go way back. So again, cats are very, very important creatures.
And I just don't. I'm not a pet person. I'm not against pets, but I'm just not a pet person at all. I'm weird when it comes to pets and stuff. So yeah, but when I heard that, I said, I damn sure won't be getting no cat. Never, no time, never.
Wait a minute. You know what? Now that she brought that up, maybe that's why guys. Never mind. I was going to go somewhere with that, but we keep chasing the cat of the one. Never mind. Hey, go ahead.
That's a whole different parasite, okay? She might need to go get some penicillin for that. Tanji said, I hear your daughter California accent. Oh, yeah. Definitely. That's a whole different issue right there. Woo, let me get out of here because I ain't gonna be able to be responsible for what comes out of my mouth next. Roddy says that was the same case with John Lewis, who had a house in Atlanta, Southwest Cascades, but he actually lived in Buckhead. He said, with the rich white people, pregnant women can't change or touch the cat ways. Yeah, that scared me. Dude, I know people with cats and pets, and I'm like, how you doing? And I keep it pushing.
Like I said, you saw Tylen yesterday. He's all disappointed in you, but that's okay.
Hey, Easy, you raise a good point. If cats got parasites, what do dogs have? What do they call them things that dogs can get? The riggers, the jiggers, the triggers, the something. Just the name of it got my skin crawling. It's like, I don't want none of that. I'm going to leave it alone. Because I know y'all, there's a lot of pet owners out there and y'all be looking for me. Yeah, Michelle. Anyway, we're going to get out of here before we get in trouble because we done ventured off the path of righteousness. Anyway, love and appreciate every last one of y'all. And 48 TCO, he says, why you won't be here tomorrow? I do all my videos for African Diaspora News Channel and Emancipation Media, which is 15 videos. So sometimes I'm just kind of like my brain is, it's kind of buzzing. But if it's not tomorrow, then I will come on here. Three Hands, how you doing? Dwayne, what's going on with you? Long time no see. So they got parvo and worms. Yeah, I'm good. Anyway, love and appreciate every last one of y'all. We're going to get out of here. Peace. Also heard cats be eating their owners when they die in a house. Goodbye.
Yeah, sometimes.